Look out.
Anderson
Enjoy it.
with the steal. Anderson pushing it on the other end. Go along to Ruffin. It's in the air. On a dime to Ruffin. 20, 10, 5, touchdown. Aaron on the other end pushes it down just inside the line.
First for the Flyers of Lewis University. At one guard spot, number 5, Marco Patinato. At the other guard spot, number 31, Josh Nego. At one forward spot, number 10, Kristen Wilson. And at the other forward spot, number 20, Delaney Blaylock. Rounding out the Flyer lineup in the middle, number 23, Frank Vuki. The Flyers are coached by Mr. Scott Trost. And now the starting lineup for your Fighting Saints. At one guard spot, he's a 5'4" junior from Champaign, Illinois. Number 1, Terrian Howard. At the other guard spot, a 6' sophomore from Hoffman Estates, Illinois. Number 3, Jordan Thornton. At one forward spot, a 6'3" junior from San Francisco, California. Number 10, Antonio Hughes. And at the other forward spot, a 6'4" junior from Canberra, Australia, number 20, Pietro Badalassi. Rounding out the lineup in the middle, 6'9" senior from Canberra, Australia, number 42, Ian Morrison. Fighting Saints are coached by Mr. Ryan Marks.
We are live inside the Sullivan Center here on the campus of the University of St. Francis in Joliet, Illinois. Welcome to the broadcast. Terry Bonadonna with you here for tonight's basketball matchup between the Fighting Saints of St. Francis and their crosstown rivals, the Lewis University Flyers. Interesting matchup tonight between a couple of teams that got off to slow starts, both teams playing better of late, and a non-conference game now in the middle of the year. The Saints come in with a record of 4-6 overall. They're 2-2 in conference, but again today they get a respite from conference play, taking on Lewis, coming off of a big victory against the University of Indianapolis. They are 3-6 overall. Saints are in white. They are going from right to left on your screen here in the first half, and Lewis is in black and red, going from left to right for the first 20 minutes of today's game. Frank Vukai at midcourt next to the Saints center, Ian Morrison, and the tip is won by Vukai and the Flyers. Here comes Lewis down the floor in their first possession. Marco Pettinato in control on the left wing, down into the corner, Blaylock. This is Pettinato floating it from just inside the free throw line and getting the first 2 points of the game. So it is Lewis who strikes first. Saints looking to respond on their first possession. Jordan Thornton, he's been slow going of late, trying to get Ian Morrison going down low against the double team. Morrison is fouled. Good first offensive set for St. Francis as Ian Morrison gets an early touch in the post and gets himself to the free throw line. Morrison leads the team, coming in at 12.1 points per game, but the first free throw rims out. He has struggled at times with his foul shooting, 69% on the year. Second shot for Morrison rims out, so 0 for 2 at the line, and Lewis maintains their 2-point lead as they take their second possession. 40 seconds gone in the game. Frank Vukai picked up the foul. So that's 1 for him. Pettinato off to Josh Niego, back to Pettinato. Down in the corner, Blaylock shoots and scores. Delaney Blaylock, the junior from Wyoming, Michigan, has his first 2 points, and our score is 4-0 in favor of the Flyers. Here's Terrian Howard, bouncing to Badalassi at the elbow, mishandled it, but he got it back. Badalassi off to Howard. Terrian Howard is bumped, and on the second possession for the Saints, the second foul is called on Lewis, so no points yet, but potentially early foul trouble on the Flyers. That one goes against Kristen Wilson. At the elbow, it's Morrison. One-on-one against Vukai. He hands it off to Howard. Shot clock down to 12 seconds. Badalassi bounces low to Morrison. Morrison with 7 to shoot. Back out to Howard. Deep 3 ball. In and out. Rebounded by Wilson. Here come the Flyers. They want to run. It's Pettinato down the far sideline, pulling up at the wing and passing up top. This is Blaylock. Niego down in the corner to Wilson. Good ball movement for the Flyers. They find an open shooter. Blaylock in the corner, knocks down the triple. Delaney Blaylock has 5 early points, and the Saints trail 7-0. Lewis has not missed a shot. Here's Antonio Hughes. Hughes, the leading scorer in the last 2 St. Francis contests. Howard up top, Jordan Thornton. 7 on the shot clock. Hughes on the left side. He's got just 5 to shoot. Bounce down low, Badalassi going to work against Wilson. Scoops it up and travels. Shot missed the rim anyway, so even if the travel hadn't been called, it likely would have been a shot clock violation. But it's a turnover committed by St. Francis. They face a big early deficit and now try to make up for it with a little full court press, but it's broken by Lewis. And Wilson, Blaylock walks across the timeline. Here's Pettinato off to Niego. Josh Niego, the freshman from Brother Rice High School on the south side of Chicago, passes to Pettinato, who took a quick early step. Happy feet for Marco Pettinato. He's whistled for the travel, and a turnover committed by Lewis. 17-17 to play first half. Flyers lead by a touchdown and an extra point. Saints looking to get on the board for the first time here with Badalassi at the foul line. Backing down on Wilson. He picks up his dribble and bounces down on the baseline to Ian Morrison. Morrison backing in, up with the left hand, no good. Good look for Morrison. Couldn't finish, though, over Niego. Make that Vukai he was going up against. Pettinato. Over to Blaylock. Lewis still has not missed a shot. Blaylock out of the trap. Passes over to Pettinato. Half the shot clock has expired. Blaylock hoists a three-pointer. No good. First miss of the game, but Vukai gets the rebound, banks it in, and makes it 9-0 Lewis. So they get their first missed shot of the game, but it is not an empty possession as they have extended their game-opening run to 9 points. Here's Jordan Thornton yet to take a shot today. Off into the corner for Howard. Now Antonio Hughes. Back to Howard. Jordan Thornton at the top. Loses the ball as he went up for the shot. It was stripped, and the loose ball is picked up by Frank Vukai. Flyers trying to take a double-digit lead in the first few minutes of the game. Jumper from the foul line, no good from Vukai, and the rebound is knocked out of bounds, last touched by number 10 of Lewis, Kristen Wilson. 15 minutes, 56 seconds to go in the game, and Lewis makes their first substitution. Brandon McCombs is in. Frank Vukai picked up the early foul that gave Scott Trost a good 4 minutes. Takes the seat for the first rest of the game. Hughes to Howard. Ian Morrison to a cutting Antonio Hughes pass a little bit behind him. He's able to bring it in, up with the left hand and in. Antonio Hughes has the Saints on the board for the first time, and now off a made basket. St. Francis has an opportunity to press a little bit. Trying to trap Blaylock, but he gets it off to Wilson. Antonio Hughes has the Saints' first 2 points today. Hughes has been hot of late. He's led the team in scoring back-to-back games after a slow start to the season. Now averaging better than 9 points per contest. Blaylock, corner three, way off. Rebounded by Jordan Thornton. Thornton pushing it ahead, but his pass is deflected and intercepted by Blaylock. Blaylock fouled by Thornton. First foul called against St. Francis. It'll send Blaylock to the free throw line. Good start to the game for Delaney Blaylock despite the missed three on the last possession. He comes up with the steal and now looking for 2 points at the line. Blaylock misses on the first. You get to see a made free throw today. Delaney Blaylock, junior leading scorer for Lewis, averaging 17 points per game. Scored a career high 28 the last time these two teams met up a year ago. Adam Pischke is in for Lewis. Second foul shot goes down. 1 of 2 from the line on that trip. And Lewis leads by 8. Here's Terrion Howard guarded by Pischke and off to Jordan Thornton. Nearly thrown away, but Badalassi able to track it down. Hughes bounces low for Ian Morrison, but a sloppy pass. And it rolls straight out of bounds. Turnover committed by St. Francis. Lewis up by 8, has the ball, under 15 minutes to play in the half. This time they break the press easily. And it's Niego. Off to Pischke, getting it right back. Left side, and it's thrown down by the right hand of Delaney Blaylock. A big time dunk for the junior, and he's had a big start to the game. 12-2 Lewis. And an offensive foul called on Terrion Howard. Another turnover committed by St. Francis. No rhythm on the offensive side right now as they've hit just once from the field. Antonio Hughes has the only 2 St. Francis points. Badalassi and Morrison make their way to the bench. Hayden Witt is into the game along with Garrett Jackson. Saints looking for a spark from their reserves here early on. Here's Niego pulling up, passing out. Pischke for 3. Got it. 15-2. Lewis running all over St. Francis here in the first half as the clock runs down under 14 minutes.
Hands off!
Terry and Howard. Off to Jordan Thornton. Thornton looking for the screen from Jackson, and he was bumped. So Jordan Thornton is fouled on the floor. Third foul on Lewis. And with 13 minutes and 48 seconds to play in the first half, we've got a timeout on the floor. So I'll step aside for a moment. 12, or make that 15-2. Lewis has the lead on St. Francis. Back with more on the USF Sports Network.
It's the great people that are here. I mean, you don't get that everywhere else.
We weave our Franciscan values into our business program. We look at respect and integrity and service and compassion. We make sure our students understand that to grow profitably in the long term, you have to hang on to your core values of integrity and respect, service and compassion.
We're taught the right things to do and the right ways to approach problems in the business environment.
Some of the problems that you deal with in business, at the end of the day, it's your character and the judgment that comes from your character that's going to get you through.
Even though it's small, you're still getting a really good education, and the stuff you're learning is still on par with some of the top schools in America.
Back in the Sullivan Center, tough start for the Fighting Saints as they trail Lewis 15-2. They were down 9-0 early before getting their first bucket from Antonio Hughes, and now looking for a little bit more support offensively. Ryan Marks trying to talk some life into his crew early on. They've had problems with turnovers. They haven't held on to the ball consistently, and when they have, shooting hasn't been there in the early going. Again, Hughes the only one to hit on a basket. Coming off of a foul on Lewis, though. 20 seconds on the shot clock for St. Francis as Jordan Thornton gets set to inbound. He's on the floor with Hughes, Witt, Jackson, and now Gabe Harris making his first appearance. This is Thornton. Jordan Thornton trapped at the midcourt line, throws it away. Intercepted by Niego, ahead to Pischke, who lays it up and in. 8-0 run for Lewis. They started the game on a 9-0 run. And here's Harris off to Thornton. Saints try to stop the bleeding. Jordan Thornton, big volume shooter for St. Francis, has not thrown one up yet tonight. Here's Hughes. Back to Thornton, right wing. Step back, long two, a line drive shot, misses off the front iron, but it's rebounded by Hayden Witt. Big second chance for Hughes, short on the three-point attempt, but another offensive rebound, Garrett Jackson. Third opportunity of the possession. This is a situation now where the Saints have to make something of this. 20 on the shot clock as Hayden Witt throws it to the right side and Gabe Harris. Harris pulls up and bounces to Hughes. Hughes drives the baseline, picks it up, fadeaway. No, it's blocked by Blaylock, but he gets it back. 5 on the shot clock. Hughes drives into the lane, up off the glass. No, can't get the roll, and it's rebounded by Blaylock. Saints go 0 for 4 from the field on the possession. And now Lewis back at it. Pischke for 3, short. Long arms rebound for Brandon McCombs, and Lewis gets another shot at it. Blaylock whips it into the corner to Pischke. Back outside, Delaney Blaylock floats it off the back iron, no. Rebounded by Hayden Witt. Here's Harris, stripped, taken away by Kristen Wilson. Wilson streaking down the left side, bumped by Harris, puts it in, but no shot. The foul is on the floor. No continuation for Kristen Wilson there. Third foul called on St. Francis as the senior guard Ryan Peter checks in for the Fighting Saints. Ryan Marks brings a shooter in. See if Peter can get going from the outside. Substitution for Lewis as well as Jake Reinhardt makes his first appearance, as does Nick Norton. This is Norton, number 14, out to Reinhardt. And now inside. Lewis works the ball around well. Blaylock for 3. No good, rebounded by Witt. Lewis starting to go a little bit cold. Their longest scoring drought of the game, as they haven't scored the last 2 minutes. Let's see if the Saints can take advantage on the offensive end. Peter. Intercepted. Ryan Peter throws it away. It's taken by Delaney Blaylock. To the right side and into the corner, Norton. Three-point attempt from the left side falls for Jake Reinhardt. And the run is now 11 straight points for Lewis. They lead by 18 in the first half, 11 minutes to play. Hughes, the only starter still on the floor. He's played all 9 minutes thus far. Guarded by Norton, bounces to Witt. Witt will get fouled going to the hoop. Nice pick and roll there as Hayden Witt set the screen. Went to the basket and drew the contact, trying to make it a three-point play. Was not able to finish the shot, but now 2 free throws coming his way. Saints 0 for 2 so far from the line tonight. Hayden Witt makes it 0 for 3, missing the first. Witt on the season, just 1 of 5 from the free throw line, averaging 6 points per game. Hughes and Jackson sit down. Brett Risley into the game for the first time, and Ian Morrison, starting center, back on the floor. And there's a free throw for Witt as he rattles one home, ending the 11-0 Lewis run. Saints now 1 of 4 from the line. Here's Norton. Norton takes in and over Witt and scores on the layup from the left side. Nice move by Norton. It was 2-on-1, and he's able to finish strong. Harris steps into an open three-pointer, off the mark. Rebounded by Lewis. Good looking shot right there for Gabe Harris. Just couldn't get it to go. Pischke is bumped on the floor. Foul called on Hayden Witt. That's Witt's first. It's the team's 4th. McCombs checks out for Lewis. Frank Vukai back in. Donovan Oliver on the floor for the Flyers as well. Reinhardt in possession. Down to Pischke in the corner. Backing up with 12 to shoot. It's Reinhardt driving around Risley. Kicking it out to Norton for 3. Nick Norton can't get it to go. Rebounded by Peter, and Peter traveled. Lost his grip on that ball as he was trying to force it down the floor. And because he didn't have a clean grip, he was not able to get the pass off before dragging the pivot foot. Here's Oliver inside. Vukai all alone to throw it down with 2 hands. Lewis leads by 21. 9:50 on the first half clock. It's Risley on the left side, double team, bounce down low to Ian Morrison. Morrison working in the post. He is blocked. Blocked by Norton, who can't control the ball as it goes out of bounds. It'll stay with St. Francis, 13 to shoot, and Pietro Badalassi coming on for Hayden Witt. Risley fires into the corner, Gabe Harris. Harris throws it off the foot of Norton. The ball is loose and picked up by Reinhardt. Another turnover for the Saints. Reinhardt to Pischke, he's fouled. 9:31 on the clock, first half. Lewis 24, St. Francis 3. Marion Howard, Jordan Thornton, the starting backcourt, getting set to come back into the game as the first free throw falls for Pischke. He's got 6 points off the bench. Gabe Harris, Brett Risley sit down for St. Francis. 2 of 2 from the line for Pischke. The lead is 23 for Lewis, their biggest so far. Ryan Peter on the right side, up top to Jordan Thornton. Moving screen called against Pietro Badalassi. Another St. Francis turnover, this time on an offensive foul. It's their 6th. The next will send Lewis to the free throw line. So things going from bad to worse for St. Francis here in the first half. This is Reinhardt. Off to Marco Pettinato. Back to Jake Reinhardt. 3-point attempt is good. 26-point lead for Lewis, and a timeout is called by Ryan Marks. Lewis has just looked the superior team in every way in the early going today. They're shooting well. They're moving the ball extremely well on offense, getting themselves open shots. And they are hitting those shots from the outside. They've been hot. St. Francis has not made a three-pointer. That's been an Achilles heel for them all year. They're only a 30% three-point shooting team. Lewis 41% from beyond the arc. So both teams playing true to form in terms of that stat at least. St. Francis not shooting well from anywhere so far tonight, and they are turning the ball over a lot. Lewis didn't have much to talk about during that timeout. I think the message from Scott Trost is pretty simple. Just keep doing what you're doing right now. It's Reinhardt, Pettinato, Norton, Bukai, and Oliver on the floor for the Flyers. Saints counter with Thornton, Peter, Morrison, Badalassi, and Howard. 4 of the 5 starters are on the floor, including Terrion Howard, who walks it across the timeline. Lob from Morrison. Now Terrion Howard against a double team. Picks it up and passes to his left. Jordan Thornton into Morrison. Morrison backing down on Bukai. Hook shot with the right hand. Does not get the roll. Rebounded by Nick Norton. It's one and done for the Saints. Pettinato to Reinhardt. Back to Marco Pettinato, driving with the left hand. Kicked out to Norton. Into the corner, Oliver. Oliver floats it with the right hand and in. Donovan Oliver, sophomore from Kewanee, Illinois, has his first 2 points of the game. Oliver already better than his season average. He scores only 1.8 per contest. Three-pointer for Jordan Thornton, rims out. Rebounded by Lewis. I believe that was the first shot attempt of the game for Jordan Thornton. Guy who has really struggled to shoot of late. Oliver for 3. Not this time. Long rebound to Howard, and he's going to run. 2-on-1 to Thornton. Jordan Thornton off the glass. It rolls halfway down, but falls out. I don't know how that one didn't go for Jordan Thornton. But he remains scoreless as the Saints trail by 28. This is Marco Pettinato. Nick Norton on the right wing. Down low to Bukai, 6 to shoot. Bukai throws it away. Looking for Donovan Oliver. Oliver, valiant effort trying to save that ball, but he stepped on the baseline as he did. Antonio Hughes back in for Ryan Peter. All 5 starters on the floor for St. Francis, and these guys are their go-tos. They're going to have to play some big minutes tonight for St. Francis to get back into this game. Terrion Howard trying to spin around the defender, but Marco Pettinato reaches in on him and is called for the foul. 5th foul on Lewis. It is the first on Pettinato. Inbounded to Hughes. Hughes, the only Saint with a field goal so far tonight. Trying to change that right here. Howard back to Antonio Hughes. Hughes tries for 3, way off. Rebounded by Lewis. The big man Frank Bukai, 6 feet 9 inches tall. Guarded in the post right now by St. Francis' 6'9" center Ian Morrison, 2 tallest men on the floor tonight. Nick Norton for 3, hit it from the corner. Timeout called by St. Francis. Nothing going the Saints' way right now. Lewis leads 34-3. St. Francis got off to a slow start this year. They were just 2-5 through their first 7 games. They've won 2 of their last 3, though, and they've won the 2 big ones, conference games against Holy Cross and Olivet Nazarene, both on the road. The only loss during their 3-game road trip was a 21-point drubbing against Kalamazoo College out in Michigan, but Kalamazoo, a good team, Division III level. Tough game for the Saints for sure. And you know that Ryan Marks has been much happier about his team's performance of late during that 3-game stretch. But here tonight, they just haven't had it. Down by 31 points late in the first half, 34-3. Still with just 1 field goal in the game, it belongs to Antonio Hughes. They also got a free throw from Hayden Witt, but No rhythm whatsoever on the offensive side right now for St. Francis, and credit to Lewis's defense. They've hampered the attack pretty well, stifling Ian Morrison down in the paint. Morrison's gotten his touches down low, just hasn't been able to score with any consistency. Did get to the line on the first possession of the night for the Saints. Missed both free throws and has not really been involved offensively ever since. Outside shooting hasn't been there so far for St. Francis. They're going to need somebody to get hot. There's Terry and Howard receiving the inbounds pass out of the timeout. Howard guarded full court by Pettinato. Gets the screen from Ian Morrison, doesn't take. Here's Pietro Badalassi. Hughes up top to Thornton. Left side Hughes. Hughes pass deflected, but right back to him. Now he's got an open lane to drive, but it's stripped and taken away by Donovan Oliver. Pass into Vukai is knocked away by Badalassi, and diving on the floor, Terrion Howard saves it for the Saints. Here's Antonio Hughes. Hughes dishes inside Badalassi. Behind the back, he's able to score. Wild shot, Pietro Badalassi, guarded by 3 Lewis defenders. With his back to the basket, he just flips it over his head and scores. Well, the points may not be coming frequently for St. Francis, but they're entertaining when they get them. Entry pass to Vukai, backing down on Morrison. No, gets his own rebound and scores, and Ryan Marks livid that there was not a travel call. But Frank Vukai is on the board. He's got 6 points. Antonio Hughes swings it around to the right side. Hughes backing down on Oliver. Good defense by Oliver. Hughes has to pass it out to Badalassi. Nice pass to Hughes. A blocking foul is called on Donovan Oliver, and that is the 6th foul on the Flyers. Nice pass by Badalassi. Substitution for Lewis. Josh Niego back into the game. Reinhardt takes a seat. And Bailey Basala is in for the first time as well for the Flyers. Here's Morrison, nice move to free himself up, and an easy deuce for him. Morrison's got his first 2 points, and Saints starting to get going offensively a little bit. They've scored on their last 2 possessions. Now we'll see if they can turn things around on the defensive end. Basala up top, Pettinato. Around to Niego on the right wing. Niego dribbles in with the left hand. Fadeaway jumper falls. Off the front rim, it rolls in. Very soft touch for Josh Niego. He's got his first 2 points of the night. 4.5 minutes to play in the first half. Badalassi hands it off to Thornton. Thornton bounces down low. Badalassi, 1 dribble, up, no. And a loose ball foul is called. It's going to go against St. Francis. Check that, it goes against Lewis. Against Basala, Bailey Basala, freshman, comes in from Iowa. Pietro Badalassi hits on the first free throw, 1 and 1, so he will get another. Badalassi hits a pair. He's got 4 points to lead the team. 38-9 is the score. Here's Pettinato. Cutting to the hoop. No good from Kristen Wilson. And the rebound is knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Flyers. Adam Pischke back in. Delaney Blaylock is going to re-enter as well. Blaylock had a good rest there. He was building up big early cushion. They're able to get some of their starters a few extra minutes on the bench, and now Blaylock and Wilson both back on the floor, the 2 leading scorers on the season for the Flyers. 2 of them combined score 32 points per game. Badalassi for 3, got it. Pietro Badalassi hits the first triple of the game for St. Francis. It's just his second made 3-pointer of the year in only 3 attempts, but Badalassi's gotten hot. He's got 7 points. Saints are within 26, trying to make it a game going into halftime. 3.5 minutes to go. Pischke hands it off. Down in the corner, Pischke travels. Pischke called for the moving violation. Big possession now for St. Francis. They can go on a little run here. Got the deficit somewhere between 15 and 20. You still don't like standing at that position, but if you get there by halftime, you feel like you got a chance in this game. So we'll see if they can get that run going. Lob for Badalassi underneath. Badalassi lays it up. Yeah, bounced it off the back iron and it fell. Nice move by Pietro Badalassi. He's got 9 of the Saints' 14 points. And St. Francis is within 24. 30-second timeout called by Lewis. You don't often see the team up by 24 in the first half, scrambling to call timeouts, but Scott Trost doesn't want to let the Saints back in this game. Take a 30-plus point lead in the first half. You've got to feel like game over right there. You've got it. It's just a matter of coasting to the finish. So Trost doesn't want to reach a point where his guys feel like they've still got to fight. 3:05 on the clock. Lewis comes out of the timeout. Blaylock, Wilson, Pischke, Diego, and McCombs. Saints come back with their 5 starters. They've played heavy first half minutes. They've had to. Lewis basketball. The Saints will have a full court press on. Bounced into Pischke, immediately trapped by Howard and Morrison, but he gets it away. Nice job by the Flyers to beat the press. Blaylock bounces it up top. Fires down into the corner. Pischke back into the corner. And Diego. Here's Blaylock driving. Down low, pass deflected, taken away by Badalassi. He'll hand it off to the point guard. And here's Terrian Howard. Howard bounces to Badalassi. Now Hughes. Thought about the 3, didn't take it. Off to Howard instead. Back to Hughes. Well defended on the outside. Hughes gets down low, throws it up off the glass. In and out. This is Pischke. Down low, Wilson up over Morrison, short. Morrison rebounds. 2 minutes to play in the half. Saints down by 24. They've gone on a little bit of a run here. They've scored 11 of the game's last 15 points. 11 of the last 13, in fact. Step back jumper, and it's knocked down by Jordan Thornton, a long 2-pointer. Thornton, a very streaky shooter. If he can get hot, this game can turn around in a hurry. He's got his first 2 points. Jordan Thornton jumps into the passing lane, nearly took it away from Blaylock. Long 2-point jumper off the mark from Kristen Wilson, but a foul is called. And it goes on Antonio Hughes on the loose ball. 1-and-1 from the line coming up for Brandon McCombs. Ryan Peter is in for Hughes with 1:23 to go in the half. Hughes called for his first foul. 7th on the team. Free throw well short. Rebounded by Badalassi. The momentum still in St. Francis' favor. They're on a 13-2 run here. Terrian Howard drives around a screen. Out to a wide open Ryan Peter. Peter well off the mark on the long jumper. Here's Pischke going the other way. Pischke drives, blocked by Morrison, out of bounds. Good defense by St. Francis with 60 seconds to play. Here's Blaylock. Stripped by Thornton. Here comes Jordan Thornton out ahead of the pack. Lays it up. No, but he's fouled. Jordan Thornton aggressive on defense and then again on the offensive end. got out in front of Pischke, and Blaylock came in from behind, got a lot of the body, sending Thornton to the line for 2 foul shots. Jordan Thornton shooting 63% from the line this year. Not nearly at the number that he'd like it to be for a guy who is a good shooter. It's the first this time. 3 points for Thornton. Nick Norton back in the game for Lewis. Second shot rims out. Saints continue to struggle on free throws, 2 of 6 from the line tonight. Sorry, make that 4 of 8 now from the line now. Here's Reinhardt. Lewis by 21, 35 seconds to go. Pull-up jumper, Niego, too strong. Offensive rebound, McCombs. Big offensive board for Lewis. Shot clock is officially still going, but about 0.4 seconds difference, so Lewis can hold on to the final shot here. What a big offensive rebound that was for McCombs. St. Francis had cleared that. They could take the last shot and get within 20 points potentially before the end of the half. Here's Reinhardt for 3. No, Thornton going for the rebound. He's got it. 4 seconds on the clock. Jordan Thornton, half-court heave at the buzzer, just a little bit short. It was on line, but came up short. That would have been very big heading into the half. As it is, a big run for St. Francis. They went down huge early. It was 36-3, but a 14-2 run ends the first half for St. Francis, and it keeps them in this game. Down by 21 points at the half. I'll step aside. 20 more minutes of basketball, though, still to come your way. It's 38-17 in favor of the visitors at halftime. We'll be back in about 15 minutes for half number 2 here on the USF Sports Network.
Loyola Medicine is the official healthcare provider for the Fighting Saints. We're committed to sports injury prevention, maintaining the health and nutrition of young athletes, and optimizing training and conditioning. Our team includes fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons, primary care and emergency medicine physicians, licensed physical therapists, and certified athletic trainers. Our sports medicine program offers day, evening, and weekend availabilities. Caring for body and soul is unique, and it's uniquely Loyola.
It's the great people that are here. I mean, you don't get that everywhere else.
We weave our Franciscan values into our business program. We look at respect and integrity and service and compassion. We make sure our students understand that to grow profitably in the long term, you have to hang on to your core values of integrity and respect, service and compassion.
We're taught the right things to do and the right ways to approach problems in the business environment.
Some of the problems that you deal with in business, at the end of the day, it's your character and the judgment that comes from your character that's going to get you through.
Even though it's small, you're still getting a really good education, and the stuff you're learning is still on par with some of the top schools in America.
If you're going to make a successful contribution to society, it's going to require a big commitment of time. And you need to really feel excited about what you're getting up to do every morning.
St. Francis has become so much a part of who I am, and just my own little home away from home.
Second half action set to come your way here from the Sullivan Center. Terry Bonadonna with you once more as St. Francis takes on Lewis in tonight's non-conference basketball matchup. Tough start for the Saints, and that's putting it lightly. They went down 34-3 in the first 14 minutes of the game before putting their game together, really getting going offensively and defensively as well. They finished the first half on a 14-4 run. 14-4 run usually puts you in a pretty good mood. Right now, I'm not sure the Saints are because they still trail by 21 points at halftime. However, it's a game. For a while, it looked like it might not be when they were down by more than 30 points in the first half of action. Pietro Badalassi sparked the run. He scored 9 points to lead the Saints in the first half. Big difference in the first half, shooting. St. Francis shot just 20% make that 30% from the field, and Lewis shot 52% on three-pointers. Flyers were 5 of 12, and the Saints just 1 of 7 from three-point range in that first half. Leading scorer for the Flyers was Delaney Blaylock. Blaylock finished first half with 8 points. Frank Bukai led the way for them with 4 rebounds, 2 assists for Marco Pettinato. For St. Francis, Badalassi 9 points. He did not miss a shot, 3 of 3 from the field, including 1 of 1 from the three-point line and 2 of 2 on free throws. Hayden Witt played only 5 minutes, but he led the team with 3 rebounds to go along with 1 point in the first half, and they only had 1 assist on 6 made field goals. It came from Jordan Thornton, who has 3 points. Thornton entered today's game averaging 11.8 on the season. So they'd love to see him get going. Antonio Hughes has led the team in scoring in each of their last 2 games. He went just 1 of 6 from the field in the first half. Shooting was a big deal. The other big difference in statistics in that first half, Saints couldn't hang on to the ball. They turned it over 12 times compared to 6 for Lewis, and that led to 18 Lewis points off of turnovers compared to 5 for St. Francis. And that's not the entire difference of the game, but plus 13 for the Flyers in points off of turnovers. You take that away, and you've got a very close game right now as it is. Saints trail 38-17, and we are underway in the second half. 2 teams, of course, have switched sides. St. Francis now going from left to right. Here's Ian Morrison. Morrison backing down, and an offensive foul called, I think, or was it a double dribble? It's a turnover, 13th of the game for St. Francis, as Ian Morrison is called for the double dribble. Here's Blaylock. Swung around to Pettinato. Both teams playing their 5 starters. Down low, Vukai going against Pietro Badalassi here. Pass is taken away, just ripped out of the air by Ian Morrison. Nice defense by the senior. Here's Jordan Thornton on the drive. He's fouled on the floor. Shot went down. He doesn't like the call. 2 points taken off the board there, but it is a foul called against Lewis, and it will go against their forward Josh Niego, his second. Hughes trapped in the corner, and he needs to call timeout. 19:17 to go in the game. It's a 43-second difference between halftime and now, and a 30-second timeout called by St. Francis, as they can't afford any more turnovers. The way this game has gone so far, every possession is so important to them. With Antonio Hughes trapped in the corner, he wisely just took their first timeout this half in order to reset things. They have 4 timeouts left for the game. Lewis did come up empty on their first possession when they committed their 7th turnover of the game. St. Francis got going a little bit on offense late in the first half, but the defense intensity has really stepped up as well, and they need that to continue if they're to have any chance in this game. Saints have struggled defensively at times this year. They're allowing their opponents 74 points per game. They're on pace for almost exactly that today. Thornton looks to inbound and finds Terrion Howard. Howard is yet to score tonight. Morrison gives it up to Howard. Howard off to Badalassi, drives, pull-up jumper, short. Rebound to Lewis. Pettinato out to Niego, back to Marco Pettinato. Driving the baseline, he cuts it back outside. Blaylock for 3 at the top, wide to the right. But an offensive rebound for Vukai, who goes up and scores. Second chance points. 6-0 tonight in favor of Lewis, and they lead by 23 as they strike first here in the second half. At the right elbow, it's Pietro Badalassi. Given up to Terrian Howard. Badalassi, long two, no good. Rebound tipped by Hughes, but brought in by Blaylock. Here's Niego. Pettinato on the right side, guarded by Thornton, passes off. Blaylock puts the ball on the ground, kicks it outside, 11 to shoot, and there's a travel. Traveling violation called against Kristen Wilson. Turnover from Lewis, St. Francis basketball. 18 minutes to play in the game. Howard to Thornton. Thornton has it stripped, but Howard plucks that ball out of loose air. Hughes gets the handoff from Morrison and is fouled by Frank Vukai on the bump. I believe that's his second foul. Second foul on Vukai. Second on the team. Thornton into Badalassi. Pietro Badalassi with the left hand, dribbles, now hands it off to Thornton for three. It's short. And a hand in his face, a risky shot, didn't get it. Now here's Pettinato on the long rebound. He wants to run to the right. Out to Niego, they'll slow it down. Pettinato flings it down into the corner. Wilson out to Blaylock. Niego drives and kicks. Pettinato pulls up to the free throw line. His bounce pass inside for Vukai is picked off by Antonio Hughes. Saints playing sharp defense early in the second half. How about on offense? Morrison is fouled. That's the third foul on Frank Vukai, two of which have come in the last minute. And he becomes the first player in foul trouble on the floor. Ian Morrison hits the first free throw. Morrison's got 3 points this evening. Second shot coming. And he hits them both this time. He's 2 of 4 at the line for the night. Back to within 21, but Jordan Thornton very quickly picks up a foul. Second foul on Thornton. It's the team's first. Blaylock gets the screen from Wilson. Now he kicks to Wilson on the right wing. Swung around left side, Pettinato driving on Thornton. Nice bounce pass to Blaylock, who's blocked, but a foul is called. I think this is going to go on Jordan Thornton. It is his third. So now the first Saint in foul trouble with 3. Jordan Thornton has picked up 2 in the last 15 seconds. Clean block up top, it looked like, from Ian Morrison coming in from the back end. But Thornton got him from behind as Wilson hits on the first free throw. Just 3 points so far tonight for Kristen Wilson. Make it 4. Wilson entered today's game averaging 15 points and nearly 8 rebounds per game. So he's had a quiet night, but thus far the Flyers haven't really needed him. Here's Badalassi to the right side. Terrian Howard. Howard to the cutting Badalassi, throws it up, no, but a foul is called. Much more physical second half so far. We've already seen 6 combined fouls called in the first 3.5 minutes. That was after a first half in which we saw a grand total of 15 fouls. Badalassi hits on the first free throw, and McCombs checks in for Vukai, who now has 4 fouls. Lewis as a team has 4 fouls now as well. Badalassi misses the second free throw, but if Saints can get the Flyers into foul trouble, they can potentially make up some ground from the line. Could be a key factor late in this game. Here's Blaylock to Pettinato. Right side three-pointer Niego. Good. Niego's got 5. It's a 25-point lead for Lewis. The largest of the game has been 31. Antonio Hughes bounces to Pietro Badalassi. Handed back off to Hughes. Hughes cuts inside. And he's called for the travel. Thought we might get another foul there. There was certainly some contact, but according to the official, it did not cause Hughes to go to the ground and force the traveling violation. So it's a turnover as Hughes and Badalassi check out. Ryan Peter, Hayden Witt back on the floor, along with Garrett Jackson as well. Ian Morrison getting a breather. Pettinato dribbles once to the left, passes back to his right, and Blaylock. Pettinato drives with the right hand, throws it up, can't get the roll. Offensive rebound and a putback good from McCombs. Lewis starting to pull away again, up by 27. Saints had gotten within 21 after trailing by as many as 31. Jordan Thornton has the ball knocked away. He'll stay with the Saints. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Into Hayden Witt. Here's Howard. Howard flips it to Witt. Jumper from the elbow, no good. Rebound still loose, picked up by the Flyers. It's Josh Niego. Round a screen to the right side. Niego pull up 3, perfect. He's hit 2 in a row, and he's got 8 points for the game. And the Saints want a timeout to talk things over. 14:49 to go in the game. Lewis by 30. It's 50-20 in favor of the visitors. In a game that so far just has not gone St. Francis's way. Nothing has gone right for the Saints in this one. This is the 48th all-time meeting between these two schools. St. Francis trails the all-time series 38-9. That includes a loss in Romeoville last year that started off fairly similarly to this one, not nearly to that extent, but Lewis jumped out to a big early lead and just kind of coasted to a victory in the second half. Last time they played in this arena, though, St. Francis beat Lewis 2 years ago. In fact, they blew them out 75-55. They obviously not going quite as well. That was the Saints team that was ranked number 1 in the country for a while. This year's Saints team not off to nearly that kind of start. 4-6 entering play today, and the solace you could take in how this game has gone so far is that St. Francis has won their last 2 conference games. Those are the ones that matter the most. So they've been playing well against CCAC foes, and they'll get 2 more in a row coming up Saturday and then Tuesday, both of those games on the road. Next home game after today is not for another month. January 10th. Here's Terry and Howard. Howard to Ryan Peter. Here's Jordan Thornton. Thornton and Howard have both been slow today as Thornton called for the charge. That's his 4th foul. Thornton and Howard today have combined to take just 6 shots. Those 2 guys on the season have taken about 40% of the team's attempts. Today, not only has neither man shot very often, neither one has shot very well when they have. 3-pointer for Pettinato. Short. Battle for the rebound. Won by Kristen Wilson, who's fouled going back up with it. 4th team foul. And Wilson will get 2 free throws. That one called on Garrett Jackson, his first. First free throw good from Kristen Wilson. 3 points for Wilson. Pischke back in. In and out on the second free throw, rebounded by Thornton. Jordan Thornton playing with his 4 fouls. It's the ball on the outside. Passes to the right. This is Terrion Howard. He steps into a 3. No good, and the rebound will bounce over the backboard. It hits the shot clock, but that's out of bounds. And it's now Lewis basketball once again. They've matched their game high with a 31-point lead. Here's Blaylock. Inside Wilson, step back and kick out to Niego. He's been the hot shooter lately. This is Wilson once again, shuffling his feet. He's called for the travel. Here's Antonio Hughes back in for Jordan Thornton. Thornton struggling with a shot once again tonight. Made just 1. Guy who had been their best offensive player for the first few weeks of the year. Came into tonight having shot just 22% over his last 4 games and a little bit below that tonight. Here's Hayden Witt. Gives it up to Antonio Hughes. Left side Witt fakes once and hands it off. Ryan Peter into Garrett Jackson. Jackson step back jumper from the foul line. Off the mark. Offensive rebound. Hayden Witt out to Howard for 3. No. And the rebound goes to Lewis. Just over 13 minutes to play in the game. Big lead for the Flyers. Here's Pischke walking it off to the right side and passing back to Blaylock. Reinhardt to Blaylock. Blaylock drives, throws up a layup and misses. A little bit of contact, but no foul call. Here's Hughes on the other end, bouncing down low to Jackson. Jackson with a nice little touch from a few feet out. Garrett Jackson has his first 2 points. Blaylock. Pull up from the baseline, knocks down the fadeaway jumper. Good shot, Delaney Blaylock. 10 points for him. Blaylock, the first player on either team in double figures. And now Kristen Wilson is called for a foul, getting a little too aggressive defensively on Terrion Howard. Howard checks out, as does Garrett Jackson. Ian Morrison back in. And we'll see our first appearance now of Jalen Jones. Donovan Oliver back on the floor for Scott Trost. Ryan Peter for 3, short. Good inbounds play, just a little bit short on the shot. Another offensive rebound for Hayden Witt. Hughes, nice dish to Morrison, and Morrison's fouled going up. 2 shots coming his way. Very nice ball movement there for the Saints. Foul is called on McCombs. It's the team's 6th. The Saints in the bonus the rest of the way. Morrison misses the first free throw. Slow night offensively for Ian Morrison. He's got just 4 points. And he's 6 now at the line as he misses his second straight free throw. Reinhardt to Pischke. Nick Norton. Reinhardt again on the drive, left side. Floats it up and in off the backboard. He just circled around the entire defense right there and got to the hoop. Nice drive for Jake Reinhardt. Ian Morrison in the post. Guarded by McCombs, hands it off to Peter, and Ryan Peters steps out of bounds. 11:32 still to play in the game, 55-22. Lewis has the lead. They led in this game 34-3, seemingly right off the bat. Saints have not been closer than 20 ever since. This is Oliver down low, out to a wide open Jake Reinhardt, and Reinhardt drains the 3. And now the whistle blows as the referee has an apparent warning for Brandon McCombs. Hayden Witt checks out of the game. No foul called. Not sure what the conversation with McCombs was about, but Lewis forward didn't look all that happy about it. Anyway, play continues. Pietro Badalassi back in the game. Ryan Peter off to Hughes, right side. Hughes dribbles inside with the left hand. Fires it down in the corner. Jones for three, no good. Offensive rebound Morrison, and Morrison's fouled. First missed shot of the season for Jalen Jones. He had been 2 of 2 from the field and 5 of 5 from the free throw line in limited action over 6 games, but misses this one from the corner, his first 3-point attempt of the year. Ian Morrison back to the free throw line. This time he makes the first. Well, his previous 3 trips to the line, whatever Morrison did on his first shot, repeated on the second shot. So if trends hold, he'll be able to pick up his 6th point right here. And trends do not hold. Just 1 on that trip for Morrison. He's now 3 of 8 on free throws. Norton. Down to the right side, it's Reinhardt. Reinhardt's pass deflected, loose. Nick Norton's able to track it down. Over to Pischke. Down low McCombs, blocked by Morrison. Here comes Antonio Hughes. He does not have numbers, but he'll take it into the teeth of the defense. Layup misses, rebounded by Norton. And Norton throws it away, looking for Pischke. So the Saints get it right back, 10:16 on the clock, first half. 58-23 the deficit. Hughes inbounds to Badalassi. Back to Antonio Hughes. And a bump down low. I think this is going to send Ian Morrison to the free throw line. Away from the ball. Foul is called on Brandon McCombs. That's his 4th. So he and Vukai each have 4 now. 2 big men for Lewis. And Morrison back to the line, this time for a 1-and-1 on the team's 8th foul. And he misses the front end. And a loose ball foul called on Pietro Badalassi. Another missed free throw for Ian Morrison. 69% shooter coming in. Not a great number, but certainly respectable. Today he's missed 6 out of 9 attempts. Badalassi's foul is his 2nd. It's the team's 5th. And Lewis breaks the press easily. Here's Norton driving on Jones. Dishes inside where the pass is deflected and ultimately stolen by Antonio Hughes. Jones on the left wing. Finds Ryan Peter up top. Now right elbow, it's Ian Morrison. Morrison turns to face the basket. And we've got an offensive foul away from the ball. This goes on Pietro Badalassi. It's his 3rd. Team's 6th, so both teams have reached their foul limit for the half and for the game. Under 10 minutes to play. This is Basala. Basala, left side, puts the ball on the ground. Dribbles down low, now kicks it out to Pischke. 12 to shoot, in the corner, Oliver for 3, it's good. Lewis is hitting all of their 3-pointers right now. They've gotten some good looks. Not pure chance that they've shot such a high percentage. Here's Jalen Jones. And Jones is fouled. And that's the 5th on McCombs, so he's done for the day. At the end of the first half, there was only 1 player on either team with more than 1 foul. That was Gabe Harris, who picked up 2 fouls in 4 minutes for St. Francis off the bench. But fouls have been rampant in this second half. It's been a little bit more physical, and the officials have called it a little tighter as well. There were 15 total fouls called between the 2 teams in the first half. Here in the second, we've already seen 15 called, and there's still 9 minutes, 11 seconds to go in the game. 1-and-1 for Jalen Jones, a perfect 5 of 5 from the line so far this season. But he is perfect no longer. So he missed his first shot from the field a few minutes ago, and now he misses his first free throw of the year. And the Saints shooting a woeful percentage from the line tonight. They've struggled to shoot from all over the place. Oliver in the corner, out to Reinhardt. Now Pischke dribbles once, kicks it out to Reinhardt. Basala steps on the line. Stepped on the sideline out of bounds. It's a turnover committed by Lewis, and St. Francis takes over, down by 38. Here's Terrion Howard walking it across midcourt. Howard lobs it for Morrison. Hand it off to Antonio Hughes. Hughes dribbles inside, pulls up, turnaround jumper off the mark. Rebound loose, picked up by Lewis. It will go to Kristen Wilson. Pischke around a screen, pull up three, short. Long rebound to Badalassi. And Badalassi is pushed down by Kristen Wilson. Wilson was just running by him right there, an accidental bump, but it forced Badalassi to the ground, which caused the foul call. Wilson's third foul. And now the Saints are in the double bonus. Two free throws for Badalassi, and he hits the first. Pietro Badalassi perfect from the line tonight. He's 3 for 3. Just a 59% shooter for the year. Brett Risley is back in the game. Badalassi hits both free throws. Full court press from the Saints, and it's broken by the Flyers. Pischke ahead to Basala. Bailey Basala pulls up and is called for the travel. Been a sloppy second half. Lewis, though, has been able to extend their lead. They were up by 21 at halftime. At 36 now. Howard lobbed on the opposite end. The alley-oop no good, as Risley tried to tap it in. Pischke quickly on the other end lays it in. Transition bucket for Lewis off the failed alley-oop from St. Francis. Here's Thornton. Thornton jump stop in the lane, stripped. He dives on the floor to pick up the loose ball, and a timeout called by Jordan Thornton. They're going to turn it into a full timeout. 7 minutes, 32 seconds to play in the second half. Lewis leads St. Francis 63-25. For the Saints, looking like their 7th loss of the season is upon them, but the good news is at least it's not a conference game. Including this one, their last 2 losses would have been non-conference games. They've won their last 2 in the CCAC 70-62 over Holy Cross a couple of weeks ago, and then big 4-point win against Olivet Nazarene 71-67 this past Saturday in Bourbonnais. After today, the next 6 games are all on the road. 4 of those 6 are conference games, and then 2 at the Roosevelt Classic the weekend after Christmas. So after today, we're back at it Saturday afternoon. Not a long wait for the next game. That's at St. Ambrose in Davenport, Iowa. Next home game is January 10th. Pretty crazy stretch of the season for St. Francis. They started the year with 6 of their first 7 at home. And now in a stretch of 9 out of 10 on the road. This is the only home game in December. They've got a stretch of 6 weeks with only 1 home game. They wanted to take advantage of that 1 home date, but so far have not been able to tonight. On the inbounds play, it goes up to Pietro Badalassi. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Thornton, pull up 3, no. Rebound tapped by Morrison, but right to Adam Pischke of Lewis. Flyers up big with just over 7 minutes to play in the game. It's Oliver, foul line jumper, perfect. Oliver's got 7 points this evening. Came in averaging just 1.8 points per game, but he's a good shooter. Doesn't shoot a lot. 7 of 11 from the field on the year coming into today. And in this game, Oliver 2 for 4. foul is called on Jake Reinhardt. And that'll send Jordan Thornton to the line for 2 foul shots. Thornton makes the first. He's got 4 points this evening. It's good to see St. Francis make the first free throw. They have struggled from the line tonight. And the struggles continue as he makes just 1 of 2. Here's Pettinato bouncing to Reinhardt. Oliver in the circle, steps inside the paint, misses on the jumper. Rebound to Terrion Howard. Howard pass deflected, but he chases it down. Now scooped inside low to Risley, and Risley has to back it out. Howard steps inside the arc. Jumper, no. Battle for the rebound. Hayden Witt taps it out to Jordan Thornton, and Thornton can't chase it down. Out of bounds. Nice effort from Witt and Thornton, but does not go their way. Here's Pettinato. Into the corner, Basala. Back out to Pettinato. Reinhardt dribbles with the left hand. Kicks it outside. Basala for 3. It's good. Bailey Basala hits the 3. His 4th made 3-pointer this season, and he's on the board for the first time. 68-26. Lewis on top. Terrion Howard over to Jordan Thornton. Thornton step back, fadeaway 2, rims in. It looks like a lost cause at this point for St. Francis, but there are a few things they'd love to still play for. Get Jordan Thornton hot. This guy can carry the team for a stretch when his shots are falling. Pettinato out to Reinhardt. Reinhardt drives the lane, dishes inside, and Kristen Wilson is there to finish. Wilson has 7. Terrion Howard had the ball. A foul is called away from the ball. This will be called on Jake Reinhardt, his second, excuse me. 2 free throws for Jordan Thornton. Jake Reinhardt has sent him to the line a couple of times last few minutes, and all of the fouls were away from the ball. First free throw from Thornton is good. Frank Vukai is back in for Lewis. He's been on the bench a long time. Picked up 4 fouls, and they really haven't needed him. Second free throw good from Jordan Thornton. 70-30 is the Lewis lead. Here's Pettinato dribbling once, passing outside. Drive from Oliver, turned away, and picked up by Risley. Here the Saints on the move. Thornton for 3, no good. Offensive rebound, Hayden Witt. His pass outside deflected, but Risley finds it. Fresh 30 seconds for St. Francis. Thornton lobbed down low to Ian Morrison. Morrison guarded by Vukai. Kicks it out to Risley. He drives and is bumped. 4:32 to play in the game. Reinhardt called for his 3rd foul. Brett Risley at the free throw line. And he misses the first free throw. Risley playing in his 5th game of the year out of the team's 11. He scored just 2 points this season, so trying to get on the board late in a blowout. Howard and Morrison check out. Gabe Harris, Garrett Jackson back in the game. And Risley hits 1 of 2. Foul called on Hayden Witt. A shove in the back on a made free throw. Well, we're going down to the other side. Lewis will get a 1-and-1 from the line here. This is Donovan Oliver, who's already had a big night. Oliver hits the first free throw. 8 points for him. It was just his second free throw attempt of the season. He's hit them both. Oliver makes 1 of 2, and the rebound chased down by Witt. So it is again a 40-point game. Gabe Harris bounces to Garrett Jackson. High post. Jackson trying to drive on Vukai. We've got another whistle. A lot of fouls called in this second half in a 40-point game. Refs continue to call it tight, and Jackson will head to the free throw line for 2 shots. That's the 5th on Vukai, so he becomes the second Flyer to foul out. And Justin Wint will enter for the Flyers, but not until after a 30-second timeout. Lewis 71, St. Francis 31. Flyers jumped out to a huge early lead. They scored the game's first 9 points before the Fighting Saints got on the board for the first time, and that was their last field goal for more than 10 minutes, even after they finally did score. Lewis ultimately led 34-3 before St. Francis got hot late in the first half, cutting the deficit to 21. It seemed like they could stay on a run. They could really turn this into a game in the second half, but it didn't happen. Lewis got hot again, and especially from beyond the mark. And as a result, they've pulled away. They lead by 40 as Garrett Jackson heads to the free throw line out of the timeout. Jackson banks in the first free throw. He'll take it any way he can get it. 3 of 5 on the year from the free throw line, including that one. Jackson gets 1 more. He hits them both. 4 points for Garrett Jackson. Aiden Witt checks out. Isaiah Williams is in for the Fighting Saints. Here's Basala. Passing it off to Pettinato. Basala try another 3, not this time. Good rebound by Isaiah Williams. He ripped it out of the hands of Justin Wint. Long pass ahead to Garrett Jackson, and he can't keep it in bounds. Pass was out in front of him, tried to save it, but right to Lewis. Under 4 minutes to go in the game. Pettinato bounces down low. Wint is blocked, and a held ball is called. Possession arrow faces Lewis, so they keep the ball here. Marco Pettinato making his first collegiate start today. Triggers this one in to Basala. Three-pointer for Niego is good. His 3rd three-pointer of the night. He's got 11 points. Thornton, step back jumper, good. Jordan Thornton from the baseline. He's got 10 to lead St. Francis. Niego trying again, way off this time, a long air ball. Here's Harris, ahead to Jordan Thornton. Down low Jackson. Jackson dribbles once, step back jumper, short. Rebound to the Flyers. Pettinato, the freshman from Lincoln Way West High School. Then started his first game collegiately. Ball into Wint, and it's stripped by Jackson. Loose ball picked up by Harris. Ahead, Jordan Thornton. Thornton draws the contact, hits the shot, and heads to the free throw line for 1 more. Foul called on Bailey Basala, and now Jordan Thornton has a chance at a 3-point play. Thomas Parada is in for the Fighting Saints. Garrett Jackson coming out. Thornton looking for his 13th point. He's got it, and it will be presumably his last point of the night as he checks out. Jalen Jones back in. So all 5 starters apparently done for the day for St. Francis, trailing by 36 late. Nick Norton up to Bailey Basala. Over to the right side, Pettinato, and Pettinato throws it away, deflected out of bounds by Parada. It stays with Lewis. 18 on the shot clock, 2:28 to play in the game. Oliver inbounds to Pettinato. Bounce for Wint, nearly stolen by Jalen Jones, but Wint hangs on. Drive from Oliver. Oliver gets inside. His scoop is blocked, but a foul is called on St. Francis. And the Flyers go back to the line. This will be a 2-shot foul called on Isaiah Williams, his first. It's only the team's 8th. Oliver back to the free throw line, hits the first shot. 9 points for the sophomore Donovan Oliver. Second free throw is good, so he's in double figures now with 10. Parada over to Jones. Risley up top. Dribbles to his right, and now Risley drives the baseline. He steps back. 7 on the shot clock. It's thrown away, intercepted by Basala. Norton to Basala, over to Pettinato. Backing down, Wint goes up and draws the foul. Justin Wint heads to the free throw line looking for his first points of the season. Justin Wint had been 0 of 4 from the field, not able to get that one to go. But due to the second foul of the game on Isaiah Williams, 2 free throws for Wint. He misses the first off the back rim. Here's Tavis Jones in for St. Francis. Brett Risley takes a seat. Jones appearing for the 4th time this year. Second free throw rattles home. First point of the year for Justin Wint. Here's Gabe Harris. Parada back to Harris, right side, 15 to shoot. Tavis Jones getting his first touch. Jones drives, he's fouled. Tavis Jones, a freshman from Chicago, South Shore High School, has 2 free throws coming his way. He looks to pick up his 2nd and 3rd points of the year. Jones doesn't get a lot of action, but he does go to the line a lot. In just 3 games this year, playing mostly mop-up minutes. This is his 6th free throw attempt. He misses. He's now 1 of 6 from the line this year. One of 2 for Jones. 38-point lead for Lewis with the ball. This is Oliver. And a Wint at the foul line. Back out to Oliver. Final minute of play here at St. Francis. Big lead for the Flyers. It's Oliver inside the arc, passing it back out to Pettinato. Pettinato looking to spin around Harris. He bounces to the cutting Nick Norton, and Norton blocked going to the hoop. Thought he was fouled, didn't get the call, and now here come the Saints. Jones to Harris. Back to Jalen Jones, guarded by Nick Norton. Here's Harris with 14 on the shot clock. Probably St. Francis' last possession of the game. They want to make it count, and it does. Isaiah Williams knocks down the jumper. 77-41. About a half-second difference, shot to game clock here, so Lewis will likely have to get one more shot up. Pettinato's going to hold, though, for as long as he can. Over to Basala. 10 seconds now. Pettinato will hold. Doesn't look like they are going to take the shot. And they may just let this clock run out. Yep, there's the buzzer. Shot clock technically went out, I think, about 0.3 or 0.4 seconds before that game clock buzzer, but everybody's happy to shrug their shoulders and let that one go. The game comes to a close with Lewis defeating St. Francis tonight by a final score of 77-41. Tough night at the arena tonight for the Fighting Saints, but they did come on strong a couple of times in the game, late in the first half in particular. Finished on a little run as well, and unfortunately just too big of an early deficit. You go down 30 points early. They were down 35-4 in the first half, and they just ran out of gas in their attempt at coming back in this one. Like I said, just tough to overcome a start like the one they had today, as they end up falling again by the final score of 77-41. With the win, Lewis picks up their 4th of the year. They are now 4-6 on the season. And the loss, St. Francis falls to 4-7. Two teams who have played two similar records over the last few years. Last season, St. Francis went 18-13, Lewis 19-13. They had the same record last year when they played each other, and very similar records as they play each other this year. But after that one, Lewis now one fewer loss than St. Francis for the year. Again, final score of 77-41 here this evening. With some final stats in just a moment. We'll grab head coach of the Fighting Saints, Ryan Marks, in just a few moments as well. Again, Saints take their 7th loss of the season, but as I was saying a couple of minutes ago during the game, one of the keys to today, it was not a conference game. You never like to lose a game like this, never like to lose a game, period. But in this case here, a game that does not hurt their conference standings. They still have their 2-game conference winning streak, and they'll get back at that on Saturday coming up. We'll be joined in just a second here by head coach Ryan Marks. He gets his headset on. Coach, tough loss tonight. Got off to a bad start, and it seemed like the team started to show life late in the first half, but maybe just a little bit too much to overcome.
Yeah, I think, we obviously when you're playing a team like that with superior athletes, you have to get off to a good start. You can manage the game a little bit differently. And so we had a bad start. Not to make excuses, we're coming out of exams. We didn't practice Sunday, Monday. Sometimes out of exams, you can look a little rusty. Getting behind was a problem. And then I think we had some self-inflicted wounds. We got frustrated, and before we could kind of get the ship righted, we kind of, help them build a bigger lead. I thought we did some good things. We have a conference game Saturday, which obviously is important, and I think maybe we got the rust off a little bit tonight. It's a tough team to do that against, but hopefully it'll help us for Saturday. Yeah,
you mentioned that conference game. Obviously, you never like to lose a game like this, but it's a non-conference game. You still have your 2-game conference winning streak, and now the next 2 games are in conference as well. How do you put this one behind you to look ahead to Saturday?
Well, I think a little bit is, the biggest thing is, we're trying to get to a point as a team where we face some adversity and another team goes on a run. Like, how do you stop the bleeding? And I think sometimes individuals try to do it on their own, like their will to try to make a big play sort of overrides system-wise what you need to do. So I think we have to continue to learn from that. Tonight, the first half, is a good example of that. I think in some ways our execution was pretty good. We missed a lot of pretty good looks. And credit Lewis, obviously they're a very good team and they shot the ball well.
Head coach Ryan Marks, thanks for your time.
Thanks, appreciate it, Terry.
Again, final score tonight, 77-41. The Lewis Flyers come to St. Francis and defeat the Fighting Saints in this evening's contest. Lewis takes their 2nd straight over St. Francis in this yearly rivalry matchup. That's going to do it for today's broadcast. Thanks to everybody for tuning. It's going to be a while before we talk to you again because Saints are back on the road for the next 6 games. They are at home again on January 10th, and by then conference season will be in full swing. So hopefully you join us for that. But that'll do it for today. Again, a win for Lewis over the Fighting Saints of St. Francis tonight. Until next time, this is Terry Bonadonna signing off for the Fighting Saints on the USF Sports Network. Good night, all.